Simon, has the playoff picture changed since last week?
Well, not really, because we're still in fifth. But it
But in terms of what's left for both you and the Ospreys?
I think we've always felt it's been in our hands, and I suppose the Ospreys will feel the same. But I think we're still putting pressure on the sides above us. Munster couldn't do us a favour, unfortunately, in Thomond and derail Leinster last weekend. But I think our course has been set for a while now, and we know exactly what we need to do, and we just need to keep winning. And other than that, things outside of our control we can't manage, but we can certainly manage what we did on Friday night, and again preparation for this week.
Since January, when you had that difficult run of games, you turned things around, and you said just keep on winning. Has that been the formula, really? Just focus game by game, and just it's not been spectacular winning the game.
No. I suppose like losing was a habit for us in that period before and after Christmas, and we got into a bit of a rut. Things weren't coming off for us, and then we've become a side that is able to win games. We had a blip in Leinster, and that was a poor performance. But even in that game, we probably just went away a little bit from staying in the game. We tried to do too much, and I think what's shown in the last couple of months is that we haven't always been at our best, but we've been in games and we've come out the right side of most results because we stuck to some of our principles that we've worked on, and our goal kicking has improved as well, and that keep the scoreboard ticking over. That's a massive boost to the team when they see the scoreboard and the lead extended. Then you can start to relax a little bit as a side, and I think our discipline has been really poor this year up until last weekend. We gave away 18 penalties against Edinburgh, and that resulted, I think, in a 1-point game. We gave away 8 against Glasgow, and that resulted in a 23-point game. So, it's that's so important. You get your discipline right, you keep aside at arm's length, and you're then benefiting then from the opposition's indiscipline. Then that's a huge part of the game.
I suppose that message will be hammered home this weekend, especially with Lee in the ranks for them.
Yeah, he's well above 80%, I think, at the moment in the last couple of games since his return. I think he might be 90%. So, yeah, he can kick from pretty much anywhere on the park. He's got good distance, and the players understand that is a huge part. Some of the things you can't control, the scrum penalties are sometimes going to go against you, but some of the dumb penalties that we've given away in the last few months have cost us, and they've been backed up by errors, and I think that's a big focus the last few months has been trying to, yes, you're going to make mistakes, but try not to back it up with another mistake or a dumb penalty. And I think we saw on the weekend that we made mistakes, but we didn't back it up with another mistake or a silly penalty.
25 minutes ago at the weekend, it was obviously just still a question of winning the game, not gambling on a bonus point. Do you, I think you probably have to think you've got to get a bonus point in one of these last 2 games at least. Do you have a different approach to this game if you do get ahead?
I think we would do that probably once if we can get into a winning position, and it's difficult to preempt what will happen. I think our focus has to be 8 points, and then obviously if in a game like you say where we can maybe look to stretch things and look to press on for another try, and then that might give us a chance to go for a bonus point in the last quarter of the game, then so be it. But I think winning is vital, and yes, we'll look back probably and think there was a couple of points have gone missing in terms of possibly going for bonus points, but I would much rather win the games and first make sure that we're in a winning position, and then possibly look to do that. And it's something that we'll probably have to think about this week, but to show the Blues respect first to win the game.
Do you accept that you need to get a bonus point out of at least one of the games? No. So you think Glasgow and Leinster are going to do you a favour?
Well, they'd...
That's what you're saying, aren't you? That you're expecting the Ospreys to lose one of the games?
Well, but there's another side that could still drop into, Glasgow could still drop into the
They were playing Connell last game, weren't they?
away. Yeah, Eric Hill was last game in charge.
Yeah.
Could be a nice one for Connacht to finish him off in style. So I think there's still a little bit more to go, and apart from what's going on between us and the Ospreys at the moment.
So I said to you, right, you're going to win both games. You take it and leave your fate to a degree.
I think, if someone said you get 8 points guaranteed, then that we would take that now, and then I think there's still other things that will play out between now and the end of the season from games that are outside of our control. So I think there's still a little bit of a twist in this. Hopefully we can look after our end, and then some other things can happen elsewhere.
Obviously, Reece said he's back in training. Is he in contention?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's looking sharp. He ran his best 40 metre, I think, time, and his best yo-yo test, which is the conditioning test. So he's raring to go, and he's trained this morning. He'll train again this afternoon. So in that sense, he's not hampered by having to limit his training time at the moment, which is great. So it's a timely return for him.
You wouldn't hesitate considering all the time he's been out for, coming back in. It's magnitude of the game.
I think a lot will depend on training, and he's gone okay. So at the moment I'm feeling comfortable that he's achieving what he needs to do from a medical and a conditioning perspective, and then rugby element then has to be accounted for as well.
Obviously you must be pleased with how Owen has gone, considering what's happened off the field.
Yeah, he's responded well, and we've developed him over the last 3 years, and he'll be a loss to the region, not just because of what he's done in the last few months, but he's a quality player, and we have a number of players in that position already, but he would be someone that we would have liked to have held on to.
Is Reece likely to be involved in the squad this weekend if things carry on as they have done?
Yeah. I mean, he's in contention, and there is a couple of other issues around, not him but other players. So it might lead us to be able to select him in the squad. But until he comes through today and maybe even Thursday, then we don't know how he'll react from training today, because he hasn't done as much work in other weeks. So we'll see how he comes out tomorrow as well. But he's certainly in a good place, and if he's right and we feel it's the right thing to do, then he'll be involved.
What have you made of the Blues this season?
I feel for them because they're playing on a sticky wicket in the Arms Park. Yeah, they've been hampered by injuries. Phil's promoted a lot of youngsters this year, and I think when they get their game going, they can be very threatening. They've obviously had an influx of some of their international players the last couple of weeks. Jamie Roberts played really well on the weekend. Sam Warburton, Lee Harpenny will want to continue that kind of progress and standard that they brought from the Six Nations into, for them, what will hopefully be a Lions tour. So there's lots, I think, for them to still play for. At least not Phil's coming back to his old stomping ground, and he'll want to make sure that his team have a positive showing.
So it's obviously people talk about very little for them to play for. You don't not take any notice of anything.
I think that would always be a question mark, but I think any side coached by Phil would be motivated and certainly feel like they've got plenty to play for.
The fact that, say, Welsh Derby take form out of the equation a bit?
I really enjoyed the Millennium and the double header. I thought that was a really good atmosphere, and hopefully this weekend the supporters from the Blues and our own supporters can come out in force, because these games should be the sort of standard bearers. They should be near to full houses, and we've obviously playing for something at the end of the next couple of weeks, something really special if we can get to those playoffs and give us that opportunity for silverware. So I expect there to be a real good atmosphere, and hopefully the Blues can add to that as well. It's I think Welsh derbies are really important for me for the game, and to show the quality in the regions, because there's lots talked about the Welsh team and the national side, how good they are, but the regional sides aren't too bad either, and we're the ones that are pushing these players through to play international rugby.
Simon, were you disappointed with the crowd figure last weekend?
6-9, yeah, I mean, it's not ideal sometimes on a Friday night, Andy. It's but I wouldn't have thought Glasgow brought many either. But yeah, we would obviously want more than that, Andy. It's
You think you deserve that, really, don't you? Where you are in the league.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe the supporters have been distracted slightly by what's gone on in the region versus WRU issues over the last couple of weeks, and maybe slightly taken their focus away from what they should be looking for, and that's the positives in our regional game. I know the regions are working really hard, and they're trying to push for a meeting next week to hopefully resolve that. But the regional game is strong, and we need to make sure that we get that great support that we've had here in the past. And we've only got a couple of games left at home. Let's hopefully that will spur the boys on to come and support us on the weekend. Hopefully we're showing a good product on the pitch, and we're winning rugby, and we've got something to play for at the end of the season, and that hopefully will spur supporters on to come and see us play this weekend, and hopefully take us on into Treviso, and then beyond that in the next couple of months.
Certainly you can't take sides for obvious reasons, but you join pretty much everyone else in Welsh rugby and just hoping they sort it out.
Oh yeah, it's the regions are trying desperately to get this to the table and push forward a resolution which is for the betterment of the national team, the betterment of the regional teams, and that for me is the crux of it. It's not about them and us. We should be working together to try and promote the game regionally and the national side.